Welcome to Neutron Nomad Chanel. Today we're going to talk about Wolverine. The OG X-Man, but before we start, let's subscribe to Neutron Nomad. But this isn't the story of his childhood. This is the moment everything changed. Long before he became the X-Man known as Wolverine, he was just a man named Logan. Born in 1800s Canada with mysterious healing powers and animal-like instincts, Logan had been captured. Not by enemies, but by his own government. He was chosen for one of the most brutal experiments ever conducted. In the cold, steel halls of a secret Canadian military facility, Project Weapon X was underway. That moment shattered the programming. He turned on his creators and tore through the entire Weapon X facility, leaving behind flames, blood, and broken chains. He survived, but barely. And when he awoke, he wasn't the same man anymore. He was Weapon X strapped to a surgical table. Logan's screams echoed as the strongest metal on Earth was forcibly bonded to his skeleton. He always healed. Because Wolverine doesn't die easy. On it is a picture of a man with long flowing hair and a beard, wearing a blue and white striped shirt. This is Thomas Logue, the creator of Weapon X, but deep inside, the man was still there. Memories of love, pain, and war began breaking through. He couldn't be controlled forever. From within the darkness, we hear a voice say, "You have been reactivated. It is time for your first mission." Logan looks up and sees a Weapon X soldier standing over him with a gun. An old woman opens the door and immediately faints when she sees Logan. Logan reaches out to her and says, "It's okay. I won't hurt you." Just then, Charles Xavier appears behind Logan and says, "Thank you, James. I knew I could count on you." Logan turns around and looks at Charles and says, "What's happening? Why am I here?" Charles says, "You are here because I need your help. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to find the creator of Weapon X, Thomas Logue." Logan says, "Why? What's the point?" Charles says, "Because only you can stop Weapon X. Only you can destroy it from the inside out." Logan says, "I don't want to be a part of your plan. I don't want to be a weapon anymore." Charles says, "James, you have so much more to give. You can be more than just a weapon. You can be a hero." Logan says, "I'm not a hero. I never have been." Charles says, "That's not true. James, you may not remember, but you saved my life once before. You were only 12 years old, but you didn't hesitate. You didn't think twice. You just did what needed to be done." Logan says, "If I'm a hero, then why do I feel so empty? Why do I feel like I'm nothing more than a weapon?" Charles says, "Because you've been used as a weapon for so long, Logan. But you don't have to be a weapon anymore. I can help you." "We can help you?" Logan looks down at his hands and says, "I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do best is being a weapon." Logan, in a rage, leaps up and kills the soldier. This is the first kill for Weapon X, rage. But he shows no emotion. He shows no remorse. He just stands there emotionless as the soldier's body hits the ground. Subject Alpha Flight 1. On it is a picture of a young boy with brown hair and green eyes. This is James Howlett. The tests when Charles Xavier found him, a man who didn't want to use him as a weapon, but offered him something new, a family. As he's trying to piece together what happened, he has flashes of memories. He sees Weapon X soldiers shooting at him, and he sees the inside of a lab. As he runs, he continues to have flashes of memories. He sees himself as a child playing in the snow with a woman. He believes this must be his mother because he can feel the love and care in her eyes. Then suddenly, he sees her being taken away by men in lab coats. Then he sees himself as a young man, presumably in his 20s, fighting in a war. He sees the life being drained out of his body. He feels the bullet wound in his chest, and then he sees black. He sees scientists running around with vials of his blood, controlled by a neural chip. Logan was unleashed on targets like a living weapon, heartless, unstoppable, silent. One day, sent to eliminate a rogue agent, Logan looked into the eyes of the target, a woman who had once been his friend. Each time his claws came out, he fought not just enemies, but the monster he feared he'd become. Escaping into the Canadian wilderness, Logan wandered alone, trying to remember who he really was. Logan joined the X-Men, but the rage of Weapon X never left him. Still, no matter how many times he was broken, stabbed, or betrayed, we open on a dark lab with a single spotlight focused on a metal table in the center of the room. On the table is a vial of blood, and as we slowly begin to pan around the room, we see that there are multiple walls with the same exact table and the same exact vial of blood. There's rows and rows of them. In the back of the room, there's a computer with a screen that reads Weapon X. As we continue to pan around the room, we come across another computer with a screen that reads Weapon X. Logan wakes up in a dark alley. He doesn't know where he is or how he got there. Then all of a sudden, he feels an intense burning pain throughout his entire body. He drops to his knees and screams in agony. Logan runs through the forest. He doesn't know where he's going, but he can feel something inside of him guiding him, leading him somewhere. He comes across a small cottage and he knocks on the door. That's all for now. See you next time.